Well, this should be interesting, you guys. So today we're working again on our Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat with the fully built engine. So I was driving the car last week. We just finished putting in our billet $7,000 rear differential, and we ended up getting it back from having to wait a really long time. We waited like 4 or 5 months for it to go get service from the company that makes the billet differentials. It came back. I thought it sounded a little bit clunky just by rattling back and forth the pinion. Sent it out to another shop. They said it should be fine. We put it in, lo and behold, it is still whining. I am like speechless. I don't know what to say at this point. So in this video, we're going to be taking that differential back out, and I actually found somebody local, and it's exactly the circumstance that I was looking for. I wanted to find one of these older gentlemen who has just done gears their whole life. I've met several of them before in different places when we took the Hellcat swap Dodge Dakota to get the rear end done. There was a gentleman there, Rob, who was able to just close his eyes, rock the pinion back and forth, and would be able to tell me within about 1/1000th of an inch how much backlash it had just by the sound and feel. I found one of these guys local about 15-20 minutes away from me, and we're going to take the differential over to him. I'm not sure how he's going to be on camera, so I might have to kind of sneak the camera in there. We'll see. He's one of these older gentlemen, so we'll see how he does with camera, or if he's okay with it, but I'm going to take it there. And he said, I was a little bit concerned about shims. The one thing about these Dodge Challenger rear ends is there's not really any aftermarket support for them as far as shims, bearings, gear sets, all that kind of stuff. So he literally opened his drawer, made me look in the drawer, and the drawer had what he told me was 25 years of shims in that drawer. He said that he will guarantee me that he has the shims to get this thing done. So let's get it out. I gotta rip this thing out of here again, and then we'll bring it over to him. I'm supposed to meet him in about an hour, so I got some work to do. Let's put the car up on the hoist and get that differential out. All right, there it is. Load it up. Let's go. There she is. About to take it apart. Got her all up.
An pinion, so that way it goes into, because that's the stronger part of the pinion is on the other end. This is the weaker part.
Okay.
And then but you want it to drive up from here to here, so it's towards the, basically this part is where you want the gear contact, and then it's going to drive out to this way here under load. Okay, and in race car form. But in street car form, this right here, I can tell you right now, this probably wasn't as noisy until you let off the fucking gas.
Yeah, coasting was bad.
Yeah, that's why, because this should have been in here.
Yeah.
It should have been in this area right in here is where the coast should have, it shouldn't even went up into here. It should have been shattered, but it should have been in the middle of it. So.
Yeah. Because when you were just like on and off the gas, yeah, that's when you can hear like howling worse.
If you look right here, if you look right here with your camera, look. Yeah. Look right down this side from over here. You can see where the tooth is contacting right there, where it's just it's just shadowed to change the color of the metal right there. Yeah. That's where your contact was, which was wrong. It should be further this way and not that way. So, and then on the back side,
probably the same thing. Oh yeah, you can see it.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it down here, the root of it down here. So.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's any. I wonder who makes these gears.
It's ZF. It's got the little stamp on it. The whole thing originally is a ZF carrier.
Okay.
Same ones that make all the 8-speed transmissions and all that stuff.
Okay. All
right, so we're leaving the diff with Bob, and then we'll see what Bob has to say in a few days. He's got a couple other jobs ahead of him, but then he's going to get to the diff as well. All right, so we're back in the shop. Bob is still working on it. I got to get with him. It's actually now the weekend, but I want to try and get a video out for you guys. So right now, we are cutting up the Dodge Challenger. That's the plan for today. I might actually have to run because I potentially have a line on a maybe Hellcat transmission for this, So right now it's just got the stock 8 HP 70 in it, but either we build that transmission, which building the transmission usually costs 5 to 6 grand, or if I can get this transmission that I'm trying to buy. Somebody upgraded their Hellcat, so you gotta watch out with buying stuff off Marketplace these days, but there's a guy that apparently it's at a shop, it's all legit. He went with a fully built 426 3.8 liter Whipple and a fully built Sipple transmission, and he's selling off all his stock stuff. So this guy's got a transmission, a stock Hellcat transmission, and if we put that into our Hellcat Ram, if I get it for a decent price, and then I'd have to change the drive shaft, but I'd be probably be into the setup for closer to 3,500 instead of like 5 grand. So I don't know, we'll see what happens there. Like I said, not clickbait on the title, we are cutting up the Dodge Challenger. So this is our stock oil pan. If you guys ever worked on these cars, you have to, if you want to remove the oil pan or service the engine, you end up having to lift up the engine to try to get this pan out because it's got all this webbing here. You also notice a little bit of oil right here. So, and you can see it hanging off the bottom of the bolt there. Well, the problem I have is this oil pan, we took it off before because when we put the ARP main studs in the engine, you have to clearance the back of the pan apparently, and so I didn't have that done because I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know there was a clearance issue, and what it did was it kept the pan off a little bit, so it wasn't sealing at the back. Led to a leak. I took the pan down, and then I ended up making the clearance on the pan for the ARP main studs, but I think in the process somehow oil pushed through the gasket because the gasket was still stuck to the block, but I'm still getting this oil leak. And in order to do that all over again, you have to lift up the engine, take off a bunch of stuff. It's a big pain in the butt. Disconnect the engine mounts and push everything up so that you can get it out. On the drag pack cars, they actually make this section removable. On our Dodge, or I should say Ram 1500, it has a removable cross member between the back of the control arms also. So what I'm gonna do is make this serviceable because I'm tired of having to, if we're gonna be working on this thing, racing it, I wanna make it serviceable. So what I'm doing is we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this here. So this is the same way the drag pack is. They cut it in the middle, then they make a removable section. So we're gonna cut it, weld in a removable section, and then I can take this off whenever I please. It'll be super easy. All you do is take the 2 bolts out that hold the rack. 1, 2, maybe a tie rod end or 2, swing the rack out of the way, can get to all the bolts on the oil pan, drop the oil pan, worry free, and that's what we're doing. Now you're on YouTube. All right, so we got Chad. He's gonna cut this. All right, so there is the original piece. Look at how nice that's gonna be to work on, you guys. So much room to get that pan out of there. So we're gonna clean up the edges, square these off, and then we'll get those plates welded on, and then we can make our removable section. We did end up yesterday, you guys, going down and getting the transmission for this. So again, this is just the 8 HP 70 in this right now. It's ran a 10.6 on that transmission, and then it picked this up. So the guy gave me a few things actually because he had some stuff. So there's the lines. It does have the thermostat in there, so I might end up upgrading the thermostat. I gotta check the specs on that, but I think this thermostat is a little bit better than the one that's on here currently. And then I got the plate for it. I got the Hellcat starter because the Hellcat starter is on the opposite side. It's in a different location. It's a different starter. And here she is. So got the 8 HP 90. So somebody has written on here with one of these markers, but everything's all legit. So yeah, we've got the whole thing right here. And then our oil cooler lines are right there. So I'm gonna cap this thing off. It does have the stock converter in it. Part of the thing though is the flange is different. So I could potentially bolt on the flange from my 70 onto this, but I'm probably going to just get a different drive shaft because this is also a different length. So either way, drive shaft's got to be made, so I might as well keep this cup on here. And then it does have the stock converter in it right now, but I also have a Circle D converter. So, all right, guys, I have decided that I am going to offer these as a kit because I did not see anything like this available anywhere in the market. And this is going to work for anybody that has one of these LX vehicles, Chargers, Challengers, 300s, Magnums, all that sort of thing. So check this out and how it came out. So I'm gonna be probably switching the hardware that comes with the actual kit, but for now you can see how this all works. So, and the way that I'm gonna offer it for you guys, and I'll do a separate video as well, but like I said, I wasn't sure because this was me coming up with something that didn't exist, and I'm happy enough with it that I'm gonna offer it for you guys as well if you guys happen to have one of these. So here is the situation. So what the kit is going to come with, it's going to come with the center section with the plate welded to it, and then I'm going to give you guys the matching plate for the opposite side, and then I'll give you guys all instructions and dimensions of where you need to cut to get this thing installed. So all you'll have to do is just cut out your cross member, and then what you're going to do is slide the plate in. You're gonna weld it here. Any exhaust shop can weld it for you guys. It's not gonna be a big deal. You don't really have to, as you guys saw, you didn't have to take anything out to install it. Put that piece in there, weld it in, and then you have 4 bolts that remove this center section so you can easily work on this. And I know some people in the comments might say, well, it's not that hard to just, lift the engine up and work on it. I promise you, it's not as easy as you think. There's all sorts of wiring up top. There's supercharger coolant lines that you have to worry about when you start lifting the engine really high. You gotta disconnect your exhaust. You gotta lift and remove each of your engine mounts. Like, it's just a whole fiasco. And depending on how much you go, you can start stretching a lot of cables and different things that are connected all over the place. Like your lines that are bolted to the block that also go to your front cooling system. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that you're really putting a lot of stress on. Whereas this, you can get in, you can work on things, service stuff, and it's just a lot better. So I'm gonna put this on shopboosted.com for you guys. I'm going to offer the kit. So if you guys know of anybody, Charger, Challenger guys, this is going to be like the drag pack cars. So drag pack cars have something similar to this, but this is actually more beefy, strong, and looks better in my opinion. So that's gonna be a wrap for this video, you guys. I want to get this video out for you guys. I'm actually filming this Sunday morning, and I want to get this video out for you guys on Sunday so that we're consistent with our Sunday episodes. So super happy with how this thing behind me turned out. You can get it here on shopboosted.com. I also have a bunch of other stuff. I'm continuing to add products and cool things for you guys. Hopefully things that you can't find anywhere else, and trying to give you guys more selection and parts for all the vehicles that we do love. So anyways, head over to Shop Boosted. We've got merch, we've got parts, we've got lighting kits, Mopar kill switches. Now we've got these as well, the cross members. So I'm gonna have these made fairly soon here. So if you guys want, I'm gonna actually have these on where you can already go and order yours, and I should be able to get them out here fairly shortly. So thanks for watching, guys, and give this video a thumbs up. We're getting real close. Hopefully the differential is ready this week, and I'm also this week gonna be changing the pan to the Milodon pan, get rid of this oil leak, and then we're pretty much there, you guys. So I also have some upgraded engine mounts from BMR. I'm gonna install those, because at the power level we're running in, I'm getting a lot of twist in the engine, so that'll strengthen that up too. So look for that video, as well as the Milodon pan probably coming this week too. So lots of stuff, and I will be at Mopar Heaven coming up next month in Texas. So I'm gonna be there probably with the Hellcat Ram, and we're gonna be putting a cam in the Hellcat Ram, so that thing's getting a cam kit, and then it's gonna have the Hellcat transmission. So things are getting spicy around here, and also we've got a new partner on board with Mickey Thompson, so we have a bunch of tires on the way. We're gonna be working with them. They're gonna be on board with us, getting the tires to make these vehicles go fast down the track. So I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. I'll see you guys in the next video.